Have you ever wanted to start something but then gave up by saying, I couldn't do it before anyway, it won't work this time either? This is not actually your inadequacy, it may be a learned trauma. In this video, we will talk about how we can break down those invisible walls your mind built to protect you. You tried something in the past, and it did not work. You could not make a relationship work. You started a job, but you could not continue. You saw unexpected things from your friends. You tried to build a routine, to change yourself, but you stopped somewhere along the way. And now, when you want to start again, this sentence may pass through your mind. I couldn't do it before anyway. It won't work again. This is just who I am. Good things don't happen to me. If you are feeling exactly this invisible weight right now, like the video, so we can see that you are not alone in this feeling. Now let's look at how to free yourself from this weight. It did not happen in the past, but that does not mean it will not happen in the future. There is a very important false belief we need to break here today. Your brain is simply trying to warn you so you do not experience the same pain again. Because sometimes the brain does not look at the future with hope. First, it opens the records of the past. What happened before? Did it hurt? Were you ashamed? Were you disappointed? It asks. If there is a strong pain there, your mind may interpret today's possibility through the shadow of that past pain. So you are not looking at today through today's possibilities. You are looking at it through the pain of the past. Because your brain has not cleared that pain, it cannot look at the situation neutrally. It looks at it through unprocessed trauma. That is why sometimes a new door opens in front of you, but you feel as if you are still inside an old room. Now let's explain this more simply. Our brain is designed for survival. That is why it usually records negative experiences more strongly, because for the brain, pain is not just a bad memory, it is a warning system. It records situations that may create danger for you in order to keep you alive. The problem here is that it can also record emotional threats as if they were life-threatening dangers. So even if the level of danger is not the same, the feeling can feel the same. If you were rejected somewhere, if you felt inadequate, if you made an effort but did not get a result, you do not forget it. The mind stores this like a file. And as the trauma file grows, a person can become unable to move. Your mind becomes like a dusty archive room filled with old pain. When you want to take a new step, your brain runs to that room and brings out your worst memory, placing it right in front of you. In this video, you will learn not only the reason behind this weight, but also how to close these trauma files with the 3 questions I will give you at the end of the video. When you start a new relationship, that old feeling of rejection may come back. When you set a new goal, that old story of giving up halfway may come back. When you want to show yourself, that old fear of, what if I embarrass myself, may come back. And worse, you may believe it is the truth. But there is a very important distinction here. Your mind does not produce reality. It produces interpretations. The fear you feel in that moment is not the certain result of the future. You only assume that it is. You mistake the shadow of a past memory falling onto today's possibility for the reality of the present moment. But the conditions are different. The person involved is different. And most importantly, you are different now. Yet, if you do not see this, you may continue adding new files to your trauma archive by blaming yourself for problems that were not actually caused by you. So the problem is not that you are a hopeless person. The problem is that your brain perceives past pain as more real than your present potential. You can think of this as a kind of inner anchor. Past failures can sometimes sink deep into your mind like a heavy anchor. You want to move forward, but an invisible weight pulls you back. Don't start. Don't try. Don't hope. You will get hurt again. Good things don't happen to you. Don't get carried away. Without realizing it, you begin to shrink your future in order to protect yourself. This is exactly what I mean when I say you become unable to move because of your trauma files. You want less. You try less. You become less visible. You start avoiding risks. Then you begin to think this is your personality. I am not brave. I am not disciplined. I am not good at relationships. I can never finish what I start. These are not your identity. They are the over-strengthened versions of some experiences you lived through in the past. If you accept them without questioning them, they become your identity. Your brain is not sabotaging you. It is trying to protect you. But the protection system is getting in the way of the growth system. The feeling of hopelessness blocks your new areas of experience. Because the mind can confuse this. Once I got hurt does not mean I will always get hurt from now on. I failed once does not mean I am a failure. I could not do it during one period does not mean I will never be able to do it. What stops you is not the difficulty of the future. It is the fact that the past is still making decisions about today's possibilities. If you do not see that you have become a different person and do not try again with your current version, you may remain stuck in that past version of yourself as if you were sinking into a swamp, because hope is not always a huge burst of motivation. It is the force that keeps you alive. Without hope, everything becomes one huge black and gray cloud. Hope is a tool that helps you see the other colors in the world. You need to see this. This time I am not the same person. You are more conscious and more experienced. You know your boundaries better now. You know more clearly what is not good for you. So something your past self could not do, your present self may be able to try from a different place. Understanding your inner world is the first step of change. Now I will give you a small exercise. If your negative emotion has passed, if a lot of time has gone by, and if that emotion is not fresh anymore, you can try this. Today write 3 sentences on a piece of paper. First sentence: what did the negative experience I lived through in the past teach me? Second sentence: what pain is my mind trying to protect me from right now? Third sentence: in what way is my present self different from my past self? When you answer these 3 questions, your mind begins to see the past not only as a threat, but also as a source of information. In other words, we also have the power to transform our pain into an inner resource, not just into trauma. The goal is not to deny the past. The goal is not to let the past take the steering wheel of your present life. But first, we need to experience the emotion. Because if the emotion is still active, the rest of the process gets interrupted. You can think of it like this. You cannot build a living space next to an active volcano. Remember, the past is information, but it does not have to be destiny. And you are not the continuation of a negative experience from your past. You are still a human being who can change, learn, and choose a new direction. It is in your hands to become the leader of your future, not the prisoner of your past. The purpose of this channel is to help you become the leader of your own future. If you want to benefit from it, you can subscribe for daily psychological insights.